Welcome to Luther Souls Woven in Time by Dugan this morning. I have two guests today. To my left is Emily Jones Paul.
Yes, sir.
Emily Jones Paul and Hunter Paul.
Harper.
Harper Paul. And Emily and I have been friends. Well, I've loved Emily. I don't know if she's my friend or not, but I've loved Emily since probably about 12 years old or so. I'm gonna tell my side of the story, and then I'd like for Emily to tell her side of the story, how we became friends. When I first remember seeing her, she was not 12; she was much younger. But I thought she resembled her mom, and I thought her older sister resembled her mom, and it just kind of intrigued me that her mom and both her daughters look so much alike to me when they were little. They don't look as much like their mom now as they did when they were little. I don't even think they look as much alike now as they did when they were little. But anyway, then I didn't see Emily maybe I shouldn't say I didn't see her, because I did, but I didn't pay a whole lot of attention until one time I was asked to teach a Sunday school class at church, and I go in there, and she was there, and another little girl named Marissa, and there were others in the class, but these two were the most bubbly and they were the most interested in what I had to say, and they participated more. And it got to be a habit of me substituting in their class, and from there, as she grew up and went to high school, I don't know. Do you, Emily? What was it that drew up? What was the magnet?
I don't know. I think that you're just.
I think it may have been because she's so pretty. I don't know.
I think it's because you're just so fun and so awesome, and I just always wanted to be around you.
When she went to high school, she was in drama, and she always would invite me to her plays. When she'd have plays at high school, she would invite me, and when I could, I would go. At the time I had a sick wife, and I was working some too at the time. And but I got to a lot of her classes, and that way I didn't know her dad, but I met her dad through going to extracurricular stuff, and he's a pretty awesome guy, along with her mom. But she might be the most awesome because she loves me the most. Oh, and we left Georgia, which is where we are right now. We left Georgia and moved to Phoenix, Arizona. Well, the next summer, I think it was, we went out there, and I don't know if I should put this out or not. This could cause some family strife or something. But they came by to see us. And by that time, were you out of high school then? 2019? When did you graduate?
No, I graduated 21.
Okay. So she was in high school, but they took a summer vacation. Her mom and dad and her two sisters, and so they came to see us. And my wife was really, at that point, was only less than 2 years before her death, as a matter of fact. And no, it was a little over 2 years from before she died, but she was suffering, and she was going downhill. But they came to see us, and that was pretty special to me. And her mom told me later, she said, I didn't even go see one of my sisters that lived there. She said, but we had to come and see Dugan because Emily told us we got to go see Dugan. So that was pretty special to me. And but I want Emily to just share her story. She's been, I know she's a lot older than I. I mean, I'm a lot older than her.
Yeah.
But
I'm 23. You're 26. It's only 3 years.
She's always been a good example to me. She really has. And I need to tell that if I had that, you could read the poem if I had the poem. But I get a call. No, I didn't get a call. I was visiting out here in Georgia one time, and she came up to me and we were talking. It was more than just her, but several of people, I guess her age, was talking. And I like the fact you remember I'm 26.
Yes.
But we were talking in a group, and I walked off, and the group kind of dissipated. And then she comes to me and she says, "Will you do me a big favor?" And I said, "If I can." She said, "I'm getting married in November. In November. And will you write a poem for my wedding?" And that kind of surprised me. But I went back and I told her, I think I probably said what I usually say when somebody asks me to write a poem. Well, I'll try. I'll give it an effort. And I went back to Arizona, and I, I, I thought about it, and I put it down. And I carried this book, or a book. I've carried a book similar to this a big part of the time for years. It used to be a steno pad. I've carried spiral ring notebooks, and I've even written on napkins and paper bags and everything else. But I would sit down with one of my notebooks, and nothing would come. I just couldn't come. But I think, and I wish I had the poem but I think her dad and her relationship with her dad is what inspired that poem finally. And in the poem, do I make reference to you and your dad?
I feel like you might have.
I don't even know why I wrote it. She don't even remember it. I'm mad at her now.
No.
But I think it was her dad and her relationship with her dad, because he's in the same situation I am. He's got 3 girls, and I had 3 girls. And as a matter of fact, they're pretty. How much younger is Brooke than you are?
6 years.
6 years. Okay, a little bit different. The difference between my second one and my third one was 8 years. So, but pretty much the same family dynamics. And so that finally got me on a track where I could write. And I wrote the poem, and I don't remember when it was, a month or two before her wedding. And I called her mom. And I think I sent the poem to her mom. I think I texted the poem to her mom. And she called me and told me, she said, "Oh, I love it." She said, and she said she loved it. And I didn't mean for her to show it to Emily, but she did. She said she loves it. So they invited me to her wedding, and I read the poem at her wedding. And then at that point, I don't even know if I did at the wedding or not, but at least I approve her husband now. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I think he's a good guy.
Well,
And I really like this one.
yeah.
But now I'm going to let her tell her side of the story.
Well, you apparently remember a little bit more than I do about when we first met and things like that, because I was tiny. But I just remember always wanting you to teach us and always wanting to talk to you, because you were so, you just had a way with words, and just we learned so much more from you, and it was so much more engaging just to hear from you, and we grew a lot more spiritually and intellectually from having a teacher who cared so much about what he was talking about.
And I don't know how, because she's so much smarter than I am.
I'm smart because of you. You encouraged me to grow. But
yeah, she said, "I don't want to be dumb as he is."
No. But we always just loved you, and I don't know, what continued it was just I was just drawn to you. And I remember when I first started dating Austin, and he was coming to our trunk or treat, and you were there, and I was like, "You have to meet Dugan. You have to meet him." And so like I dragged him over and made you talk to each other because I needed to make sure that you liked him and that I got your approval before I continued to date him. But it was important to me that the people who were most important in my life like approved of him, and I sought your approval, and I'm glad that you liked him.
And I do. And the more I see him and talk to him, I think I approve him more and more.
Yeah.
I think he got a good deal too, but I think she did okay too. I got a question for you though, and then we'll go on with this. But is she the oldest grandchild on both sides of the family?
She's the only grandchild.
Oh my goodness!
Yep.
Somebody better have another one.
Mm-hmm. She's spoiled rotten.
Okay, I'm sorry. Back to me and her.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's just some always...
I remember one time before a play at South Paulding High School, I was sitting. I don't know. Somebody came with me, and I was sitting. But your parents were sitting right behind me, and I remember turning around to your dad, and I didn't know him that well. I talked to him a few times in situations like that. But I turned around and I said, "When I grow up, can I marry your daughter?" And he kind of laughed. But no, I just the reason I wanted to put this on video and do this one is to emphasize the fact that, and I don't know if it does with everybody or not, but I've had a lot of influences in my life of people that wasn't in my life constantly, but passed through my life. Now, Emily is kind of woven into my life since she was at least 12 years old. Because every time, I think it might be as much her mom's fault as it is mine and hers, because every time I see her mom, she says, "Oh gosh, I wish Emily was here. Oh God, Emily just left. You got to see Emily." And she told me when they came to, I don't know if I'm repeating myself now or not, but when they came to Arizona, she told me, she said, "We didn't go see my sister, but we had to come see you because Emily wouldn't." She told us when we come in Arizona, we got to see Dugan.
I was devastated when you moved. I was so sad.
Well, you know somebody else, Grover Gerard. That really, and that young man, he bothered a lot. But that is our that's mine and Emily's love story, I guess. And I still love her today, and she needs to love me. She won't have to love me much longer.
I do love you so
much. But I think if and I'm a firm believer in this, if we look for people to be good influences on our life, it doesn't have to, it can be an age difference of 20 to 26 like she and I are, or it can even be greater, or it doesn't have, no matter the age of a person, they can have a good influence on you. So look for those occasions when they do. And I think that Emily and many others, but Emily especially right now, she's had an effect on my life, and she's influenced my life, and she's there. She's in my memory. She's a part of my family. She's a family member that was not born in the family, but was chosen in the family. And I love her. And I think we beat this as long as we can. So I'll say goodbye. On behalf of me and Emily and Harper, we'll say goodbye.
Goodbye.
And y'all be pretty.
Can you say bye-bye? Bye-bye.
Hit this.